Hello, this is peer review number 2. I'm Yasmin.
I'm Shri.
And I'm Quentin.
So first we're going to discuss Quentin's DA.
So for the recap, on last peer review, my peers told me that I should do for the change. They told me that I should talk more about my book instead of writing tapes in order to attract the viewers. But I still can do both at the same time in one blog. While on Instagram, I had other tips that reviews that they told me that I should do some more content related to my book, to my story, in order to attract more viewers. So I have taken their reviews into consideration, and I'm still having some issues with Instagram so far. So regarding the analytics, I would say that the views, the comments, the likes are pretty decent for when it's happening in 1 week or 1 day, and so far that's it.
Okay, so looking at your Instagram, what I've noticed about the visuals, I would suggest first off to relate like the color scheme and theme to the blog so that it's cohesive. So for example, the colors that you use on your blog have the same colors on your Instagram, so people can understand that these both are the same thing coming from the same source. And also you would mention things in your blog, like for example the different notebooks that you would use to sketch out your ideas, so I would like to see that visually on your Instagram. Show us the different books that you use, what are the drawings maybe that you make or the ideas that you're writing down. Also maybe use AI to generate images of your characters. That would help you out in posting more visuals, and that would attract users on Instagram, because I feel text doesn't really attract people. Like, utilize the visual element of Instagram more. And as for your reach on your blog, I would suggest, because this was discussed before, that your title is very like niche. Chronicles of Creation. Unless someone is searching that specifically on Google, you're not gonna find your blog. So maybe potentially change your URL to something like author writing tips, starting out as an author, so that when people who are still starting out, they want advice, they can search that and they'll easily find your blog, and you can still keep your title of your book without changing anything else.
Okay, so also like noticing your blog, I noticed that you have a blog about the characters, and for each of the characters from, I think, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, you made like a character sheet, like for Wrath. So I was thinking like you could use that as like an Instagram post where you could have like a picture of Wrath maybe from the anime, and then you can with like a carousel post, with a slideshow post, you can each have like characteristics of the character, like the power dynamics, like the features, some of the personality traits. I was also thinking that on your blog, I noticed that in this one section you're talking about Shrek. So I was thinking maybe you could have like a photo of Shrek, and you did put like a photo, but I'm not really sure what the photo is correlating with the written part. So maybe you could add more like visual elements in your blog as well, so that when readers are reading, they can like relate it to what they're reading. Like even over here you talked about Sloth, so maybe you can add a photo of like Sloth, either from like Full Metal Alchemist or Sloth from another perception.
Just another thing that I wanted to add to, for your like feedback from your user, I really like that you're responding to comments. That shows like a personal connection to your viewers, and you're getting like really good comments. And also adding on to what like I've previously seen with your blog, it was more really like your title was more like university based, like project based, and now you've switched it more to your story, your book. So that's good, because now we can see your project's identity rather than a project. So I think that's good progress.
And also like for the Instagram, you could use like like kind of similar colors I use in the blog,
Mm-hmm.
so that it maintains like a good branding. And maybe like on Instagram, like on stories, you could kind of ask like questions and users can like reply, so then they'd have like a stronger connection with you and your account, and they'd be more willing to read your blogs as well. Okay, so I'm Shri, and for the previous review, the feedback that I got was to do interactive polls of unhealthy and healthy traits, or to do some personal and audience stories, as well as doing like some story times, slideshows, and voiceovers. So the posts that I've been able to do are like voiceovers, I did slideshows, I also did like interactive stories where I asked questions and then I replied to them with some video replies, and that kind of increased my engagement. And over time, for my post, I got more comments as well. I noticed that my slideshow posts haven't done that well yet, and I'm still working on the format to make that better.
Okay, so looking at your Instagram page, I would suggest maybe having a more like captivating like cover to your posts, since you're saying they're not doing that well. So instead of having like a title of like analysis, maybe do something like that really intrigues the viewer, like maybe a character, like a clash, them fighting or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they swipe, they can discover what it's about. And I really like how unique your like drawing and art style is. It's very like personal, handwritten. So keep that going. And maybe because of the archetypes, maybe someone might not know about it. So have like each slide of character like dedicated to that specific archetype, rather than having them all in one frame. So one for the caregiver, one for like the rest, and then have like list the different characteristics separately. And then as for TikTok and also Instagram, the hashtags and stuff you were talking about, like your reach, maybe some of your posts aren't reaching that many people. So I would suggest, instead of like just being niche hashtags of K-drama, that's only going to reach that specific audience. So maybe use hashtags that reach everyone, like For You page. Those type of videos usually blow up more. And keep utilizing audios that are popular. That's going to keep your users engaged.
Okay.
As for my feedback, what I can tell you, so you can do some sort of parallel, how can I say this?
Parallel between healthy and unhealthy.
Yeah, that's
relationships.
the thing. Because so what you can do is that you can propose to your viewers, on one side, good K-dramas with that shows good relationships. So whether it's friend, fiance, spouse, husband and wife, and the same thing in the other side of an unhealthy relationship.
Right.
But the thing I've seen on both your platforms is that myself as a newcomer, I see your post, I see what it is, but I don't. Either I'm stupid, or I'm naive, or something else, or probably I'm not. I don't quite understand what's the purpose of your of your account. What I would suggest you is that you make a post or multiple ones to explain what's the purpose behind your account. Your account is to explain or to show unhealthy and healthy relationships. The signs or you see what I mean.
Yeah.
And what I suggest you to do is to explain why people are attracted to unhealthy relationships. So you can explain why via articles or something like this.
Like bring some credible sources. And
okay. That makes
another
sense.
point I wanted to add is, so you're talking about like toxicity in the media. Maybe you can discuss not just spreading awareness and how to spot this toxicity, but how to combat it. Like, now that I understand I'm in an unhealthy relationship, what can I do to either deal with that person or to exit from this, like
Right.
help your users to understand how to deal with it. Aside from that, have you faced any challenges like lately with your account?
No, other than like not getting enough reach on TikTok, I think that's like the only issue. And I guess maybe like the time it takes to make the post. I think that's the
Yeah.
only issue, but I think I've become better with making posts faster. Yeah.
Okay. Hi, I'm Yasmin talking. So for my project, recap of the last peer review, I was given feedback to avoid using like soft filter styles when I generate images with AI because then the features of the face and the person aren't very visible. So I focus more on like flashy and colorful pictures. I was also told to add like flags so we can differentiate between the countries and nationalities. So I included that as well. I also started posting like polls on my story and asking questions to get some like user feedback and engagement. One challenge that I faced was I don't really get that much reach. I don't get that many, like I get a few comments, but not that many likes and stuff. And I'm not increasing in terms of followers, even though I'm posting like hashtags and stuff. Another challenge was that with AI, I can't really get the generation that I have in mind, and it doesn't look that like very human. It doesn't give. It gives like a robotic feel.
Right. So from what you said that using AI kind of gives you a more like robotic feel. I feel like the one way you can relate with your audience more and your audience can relate with you more is that maybe you could add like personal stories either on your reels or stories about like some of the struggles that you've faced, and that would kind of make the audience feel like, you know, it's okay that they feel insecure about their insecurities, and in a way that could help them cope as well. And talking about this topic in like a deeper manner could open up your account for like discussion with your audience as well. And I feel like because you haven't gotten a lot of reach from like posts and like carousel posts, that maybe you could try using reels and even like talk about different beauty standards in the world and how it keeps changing, and how, you know, just because there's a beauty standard today doesn't mean you have to stick with that. And you could also use like photos of celebrities that have these ethnic features and who embrace these ethnic features, so that looking at that as well, audience can feel more confident about their ethnic features as well.
For my part, so it's probably not the best I can give, but I have 3 ideas that I can share to you. So the first one is that you can, as Shri suggests, you can do reels, and you can do reels based on modern beauty criteria of today. You can do reels on old, bizarre, and exotic criteria in the before 2000, the 2000s, sorry. And the third one I forgot. But
You were also mentioning to like personalize it more by like posting myself. Can you like recap that again?
So I feel like if you do like suppose you did like a story before where you asked like a question of which country they want to see next, and you said they only like told you like the country, and you know there wasn't a lot of like discussion and engagement. Maybe if you post stories, suppose like one thing your audience struggled with when they were younger, and then you could post a video reply to that and then talk about it more and be like, yeah, I also kind of faced that when I was younger, and something like that. I feel like you'd be more connected with your audience, and that would make them want to like look forward to your posts more.
Yeah. And do you guys think I should focus more on beauty standards or plastic surgery?
Beauty standards.
Beauty standards. I feel like plastic surgery kind of goes hand in hand. I feel like you can incorporate that once in a while, but I guess beauty standards is your main point of focus.
And I was thinking to do like before and after, like edited pictures, or like with filter or without filter. Does this like appeal to you guys at all?
Mm-hmm.
Right. You could do like that real idea where you're kind of showing your face before the filter and after using a filter, and you could show how your face is like still, you know, it's still beautiful. Like you don't need the filter. You could do that as well.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome.